Good morning. The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is the 18th day of October, 2022. The time is 8:32. Members of the panel today are Mr. Alvin Roche, Mr. Pete Freeman. My name is Tony Marabella, and I'll be acting as chair today. Support staff located here at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge or
Carry on. John Motion.
our remote location this morning is at Caddo Parish. Would the staff at Caddo please introduce themselves?
Latasha Richardson, classification.
Corporal Kip Jones, security.
Rick Ferris, the jail commander.
Thank you. Our first case today is going to be a revocation. It's Mr. Darryl Johnson. Mr. Johnson, would you please introduce yourself for the record and give us your DOC number?
My name is Darryl Johnson, 546-722.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, this is a revocation hearing. I want to explain our procedure to you. First, I'm going to cover your parole revocation questionnaire in just a few moments. Do you have that questionnaire before you?
No, sir.
Okay, well, we'll put it up on the screen in just a few moments. Then I'm going to read the allegations of how you have violated, how you're alleged to have violated your parole. You plead either guilty, not guilty, guilty with the statement, or not guilty with the statement. And then we'll have a full discussion about the allegations. I believe your fiance is here, Miss Willie Marston, and I think she's here to speak today. And at the end of that time, then you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say to us. Do you understand our procedure, sir?
Yes, sir.
Could we put his questionnaire up on the board? Mr. Johnson, can you see that questionnaire?
I see it.
Mr. Johnson, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see it.
Okay, now is that your signature at the bottom?
I can't see the bottle.
Okay, well, let's pull it up just a tad. Right there. Is that your signature?
Yeah, it's my signature.
All right, that was signed on August the 25th of 2022. Have you had an opportunity to look at that? Are all those questions accurately answered?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a lawyer representing you?
No, sir.
Do you wish to proceed today without a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Have your hearing?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, I'm going to read the allegations against you. The first allegation is rule number 2. You failed to report to the Shreveport District Office for December of 2021. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty.
All right. On or about November the 28th of 2021, you committed the offense of domestic abuse battery and were subsequently arrested by the Shreveport Police Department. You bonded out before a hold could be placed on you. How do you plead to that, sir?
Not guilty.
On or about January the 24th of 2022, you committed the offense of illegal carrying of a weapon and domestic abuse battery and were subsequently arrested by the Shreveport Police Department. The offense was dismissed on August 17th of 2022 and was amended to criminal mischief on the same date. How do you plead to that allegation?
Not guilty. Not guilty.
On or about January the 24th of 2022, you committed the offense of domestic abuse battery and the illegal carrying of a weapon and subsequently were arrested by the Shreveport Police Department. The charge was amended to criminal mischief on 8/17 of 2022. How do you plead to that?
You just asked me the same question. That's the same.
It certainly appears to be the same question. It's worded a little differently, but it is the same question. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty. That's the same charge.
You failed to report your employment to your parole officer. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty.
You have failed to make payments towards supervision fees consistently. Your balance is $1,008. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty.
You pled not guilty to all of these charges. The case has been assigned to Mr. Alvin Roche. He will begin our interview process. So please answer any questions he may have.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Johnson. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Would you like to make any statements about your pleas of not guilty to all of the violations?
Yes, sir.
Okay, make your statement on violation. Your first violation, you did not report to your parole officer when directed.
So he told, the paper they gave me right here, he said I failed to report December 2020. I was in jail December 2020. I never came home any charges.
2021, sir.
No, it's on this paper right here, 2020 though. The paper that I signed, it say 2020, December 2020. December 2020. I was still in jail.
Okay, thank you. In violation number 3, you were arrested for domestic abuse on November 28th, 2021, and was released before parole probation put a hold on you. Those charges were dismissed. Am I correct?
Yeah, they were dismissed the criminal mischief.
Okay. Now, Mr. Johnson, you were arrested twice for domestic abuse. And there was evidence in the police report that you abused your fiance. So tell me exactly why we should not revoke you this morning.
See, with the police officer that arrested me, the police officer that arrested me had a vendetta against me. My wife got video, he came.
Okay, is she your wife or your fiance? Which one?
She's my fiance. And he had a vendetta against me. He used to work at Caddo Correctional Facility. And a long time ago, we had verbal conversation and all of that. And we got into it. He pulled up to the house and he told my fiance that I was a bad actor and all of that in Caddo. And he had a vendetta against me and all that. He wrote up the report. But my wife, she wrote up, when he got there, they never had evidence of swelling or any swelling to anything.
Mr. Johnson, is she your wife or is she your fiance?
Oh, she's my fiance. I just call her my wife because she's soon to be my wife.
For technical purposes, let's say fiance, okay?
Okay, my fiance. And he came, they never took pictures, but she never had swelling. She never called the police. She never called the police. They never called because we were arguing in the yard.
Mr. Johnson, when you pull somebody by the hair and knock them to the ground, you don't get swelling.
But she never said any allegations. I got affidavits and all this show up, and it shows she never said anything.
I report she said he didn't hit me, but he pulled my hair and knocked me to the ground.
Well, you have a chance to talk with her, but she never said any allegations. Never. And then the police officer that arrested me, he came to jail for criminal
I'm not interested in what the police went to jail for. We are here to see whether or not Darryl Johnson is going to be revoked this morning. I don't care exactly what and where the police officer did and was arrested for. You understand each other?
I understand you.
I'm more interested in the general well-being of your fiance, because from what I see, she has been physically abused multiple times. And I want to get to the bottom of it. So tell me exactly, are you employed?
No, we stay together. We stay together.
Are you employed?
No, not at the moment I'm in jail.
So before you went to jail, did you have a job?
I had a job working at Stephen Florida.
Okay, so tell me exactly why you're almost 2.5, 3 years behind on your supervision fees.
Because I had an injury. When I first came home, my PO told me I was getting a Social Security check, and my PO told me that long as I report to him and don't miss a thing, I didn't have to pay right off. He was focused on getting myself back together. So in October, I had an injury. I lost 3 pints of blood. I died on the table. I couldn't work for 6 months. I couldn't work for 6 months until I get back scrimped in my arm and in my leg. They took a main artery out my leg and put it in my arm. I couldn't work for 6 months until I get myself back together.
Darryl, you have an excuse for everything, don't you?
No, I don't have. I did this.
I understand. I think you went into a glass plate, a window or a glass, and you cut the artery, right?
Yeah, I cut my arm right off.
Now, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to hear from his fiance right now, please.
All right. Is Willie Marston? Ms. Marston, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
Ms. Marston, if you could please give us your full name and your relationship with Mr. Johnson and what you'd like us to know.
Yes. My name is Willie Denise Marston. My relationship to Darryl is my fiance. And I would like to start by telling you that Darryl has never put his hands on me. Yes, me and Darryl have had verbal arguments, and I had neighbors that did not like that they had a set of young people as around our age living next door, and they would always call the police. I mean, yeah, we young, everybody goes through stuff, but it has never been to the point where I feel like I don't want to be with him, you know. Yes, we are engaged to be married, and I really need Darryl around. I just recently found out that I have a slip disc in my back. It's touching my spine. It's a lot of stuff that I cannot do, a lot of stuff around the house, and I need him here. They let him out for 2 days, you know, right around the time when I did finally move into a new place to start a new beginning, get away from the old address with all the stuff with the neighbors disliking us, police always coming by, officers even just coming by, flirtatiously coming by. Like, I mean, Darryl is a good person. I mean, I was not aware of his past before his, you know, whatever charges that he was in jail previous to meeting me and all of that, but I see none of that in him. And yes, I need him here. I currently lost my father. I don't really have too many male figures in my life. I mean, I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, sir.
in pleading to criminal mischief, you have admitted that there was some criminal activity in your behavior with your fiance. And your contract, your supervision contract says that you should not commit any criminal activity whatsoever. And you pleaded to a misdemeanor saying that you committed some type of criminal activity. The DA threshold is much higher than the parole board is. We're looking to see whether or not any criminal activity took place. You did have a pair of brass knuckles in your pocket at the time of your arrest. And when at the preliminary hearing, you were asked to plead to that charge, you didn't plead guilty or not guilty. You asked the question, would my answer affect my supervision? The parole officer answered you and said, all the questions that you answer will affect your supervision. And you did not plead in the preliminary hearing, not guilty. You had a dangerous weapon in your possession, a pair of brass knuckles. So I made a decision. I will give you my decision when it's time to vote. But some criminal activity took place between the two arrests for domestic abuse and possession of a deadly weapon. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Roche.
Can I,
Is there anything you'd like to say, Mr. Johnson?
yeah, I would like to say, like, you say, I understand that they say brass knuckles got found in my pocket, but when he came and arrested me, the brass knuckle was sitting on the table. They wanted my possession. He picked them up as he arrested me and brought them to jail with me. I understand, like, y'all don't want to, but I'm letting you know the officer, and she let you know that the officer had a vendetta against me. So he come in the house, he picked it up and arrested me. And this the same officer coming to jail for lying on people and false write-ups. He came to jail for this and acquitted him. This the same officer that arrested me for lying on people and misrepresentation of his report. He had a vendetta against me. I never hit my wife. We never had no physical fight. We never had any of this. We never did any of this at all. He just had a vendetta against me. Yeah, we argued. We people gonna argue. But for me to put my hands on her physically, I never did that. I'm talking about, and when they first searched me at my house, they didn't find nothing on me. When I got down to the city jail, he wrote a separate charge for a weapon charge. That's why I got beat. That's why I got dropped down to the simplest charge in there. And criminal mischief, my lawyer told me that by copping out to that, that's not a crime. That's not a crime against a victim. Criminal mischief is not a crime against a victim at all. That's one of the lowest misdemeanors you can come up to, and it's not a crime against a victim. And that shouldn't violate my parole, because anything that's not a crime against a victim shouldn't violate my parole. It says that in the law that I looked up about probation and parole, and it says in the law about criminal mischief. That's not a crime against a person.
Doesn't matter if the original charge was a crime. The person, if it was originally a crime against the person, it doesn't matter what you plead to. And I used to be the head of probation and parole.
All right, but you got the.
So your lawyer gave you some bad information.
Okay, you got the alleged victims telling y'all that this never happened.
Mr. Johnson, is there anything you'd like to say further? Let me tell you, I was a judge 20 years, and I've seen domestic abuse batteries time and time again where the victim comes in and says nothing happened. I need my husband home. I need my boyfriend home. I need him to support me. It does not mean they weren't abused. It doesn't mean they weren't beat up. It means they want you out so you can help them. And that's what I'm hearing this lady say. We've read a complete police report about what you did, how you did it and when you did it. Now, she says all of that's a lie. Everything that she said in that report is a lie today. She never said that. So we're here to determine what is true and what is not true. Is there anything else you would like to say before we vote?
I
You
just want-
pled guilty to a charge. Whether you thought it was going to revoke you or not is beside the point. That's between you and your lawyer. Got nothing to do with us.
All I want to say is I never put my hands on her, and I need to go home. My wife got she's got, like she said, she got a slip disc, not bad. She's got high blood pressure. No, I need to be there for my wife.
I hear that she wants you home, and I hear she might need you for support. Our job is not to provide her support. Our job is to protect her from anything that might happen to her that's happened in the past. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm not fully understanding because you're telling me that you need to protect her from any physical threat, and she's telling you that I'm not a threat to her. But you saying,
Mr. Johnson, Mr. Johnson, we are determining today based upon what we hear in court. This is a courtroom. This is a hearing. We look at what the witness says and we look at what the witness has said in the past. We compare that to all of the facts that we have before us and we make a decision. Just because she comes in here and says something today doesn't mean what she said before isn't true. That's how our proceedings work, and that's exactly what I explained to you earlier. Is there any other statement you want to make other than arguing with me?
no, I'm not arguing this. All right, and then on that payment, my lawyer told me, not my lawyer, but my PO told me I didn't have to make, as long as I report to him. I never missed any reports.
So you don't know $1,000?
Yeah, I probably, because he told me as long as I report to him, I didn't have to pay.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
No, I know. I just wish to be back with my wife. That's all. That's it.
Okay. I'm ready to vote.
Mr. Chairman, executive session.
There's been a motion for an executive session. Second.
Second.
There's a motion and second. Would you call the roll, please?
Pete Freeman,
Yes.
Bonnie Governor.
Yes.
Alvin Bush.
Yes,
There's been a request for executive session, which means that we're going to take a break and discuss some confidential matters. We'll come back on record in just a few moments. So this hearing will be at recess for a short period of time.
Wow, I'm totally shocked that they're doing an executive session. I'm shocked that they gave this hearing so much time. We have seen over and over and over again where they just shut the thing down pretty much instantly. It maybe what they're looking at is the police officer who filed the report, if he'd really gotten arrested, because that could just set everything off. It's like impossible for me to. I'm looking on Google, and apparently there are a lot of police officers that have been arrested in Louisiana, and it's hard to know which one it is. That was quick.
Okay, we're back in session. Is the panel ready to vote?
yes,
Ms. Roche?
Mr. Johnson
Yes, sir.
have pleaded to criminal mischief, which is a criminal offense, but I don't think the evidence I have before me reaches the threshold to revoke you. Instead of revoking you, I'm going to say in lieu of revocation, that you complete a domestic abuse battered program at Bossier Media before release. You must complete this entire program. It is all about domestic abuse. It's called Domestic Abuse Ballot Program. You will be transferred to Bossier Medium, and you must complete this program before you're released. That is my decision.
Thank you, Mr. Roche. Mr. Freeman?
I agree with Mr. Roche. I don't think we have enough to revoke you, but I do think you need this domestic abuse out of it.
Mr. Johnson, you have 2 votes not to revoke you. In lieu of revocation, you complete a DBOP program at Bossier Parish before you're released. I feel a little different. I've read the police reports. I've seen what your fiance has said. I'm convinced that you did what the police report says you did to her. But I'm willing to go along with my colleagues in that I'm willing to get you some treatment because I think you need it. You know in your heart what you did. She knows in your heart what you did. And if she does need you and you do want to get out and help her, the DBOP program will do nothing but help you with that relationship. So that's our vote. The vote today is not to revoke. In lieu of revocation, you are to complete the domestic violence program at Bossier Parish. Do you understand our rule?
Yes, sir. So now when I complete it, I get released. No more,
Correct.
no hearing, no nothing.
That's right.
Do you know how long it takes me to complete it?
That's going to be up to you. The harder you work, the quicker you get out.
Okay.
Sure. All right. We'll be adjourned at Caddo.
I gotta tell you, that was the most. He was just like totally unappreciative of what just happened. He legit we're missing some details, which makes it a little bit difficult for us to fully know the gravity of what just happened. We don't know, and I tried looking it up, what his original sentence was, what he had done, and how much more time he would have to serve if he had gotten revoked. It's possible that he just got 10 years of his life back, or it's possible he got 2 years. We don't really know. Maybe if any of you can, we do have a lot of people that are great at researching. If we do find the info, we'll put it in the description. So take a look and we'll have it there. But still, regardless, his response was just like totally, it's like he's totally unaware, and her response too, of how unique this situation is and what a gift, or as the board has said several times, golden ticket that he just received. I don't know how long this course is. Maybe they don't know either. But I can't imagine it's more than a 6-month thing, like tops, like to get in, to complete it, and to get out. And it really might just be like a, who knows, but even shorter than that. The only rational answer that I can get that he has just been that they said that there is not enough evidence is that this police officer did get arrested, the one that wrote the report. That we have seen so many cases already of parole revocation where this simply would not have passed the parole boards. They would have revoked him. There are so many. They could have just revoked him for not paying the fees, really. So I'm a little bit confused. Like, if they wanted to revoke him, they had enough in their arsenal to revoke him. So again, I'm coming back to the only thing that I can think of is that they just don't want to deal with any ramifications of really the fallout of what this police officer did. But man, this guy certainly could have used an attorney, because an attorney probably would have just sealed the deal for him. But I like Mr. Marabella, do believe his fiance on the 2 police reports for domestic abuse. I do believe that what she told the police officer in her report was true. It's sad. I mean, you have to make what you believe, right? What did you think? Did you think that him calling her wife was a manipulative tactic with her, or is that just something that he does? I mean, there are people that get engaged forever and might just say, my wife, my wife. I don't know if I know of any, but I can see that. At the same time, I could see how that would really piss off someone who was engaged and to be called their wife and not to yet be married. So curious if you think that was like just something that he was using as a manipulation play here. I just have to fall back to the legal thing, because there's just no chance that they wouldn't have revoked him otherwise. But love to hear your thoughts. Do you think that he was completely honest, that he hadn't hurt her, that the entire thing was just a cop that did not like him and wanted to get him locked up? Or do you think that he's guilty and the police officer really is just a coincidence? Maybe he did other things, like say that the brass knuckles were in his pocket, but that the abuse really did happen, though. Love to hear your thoughts. And with that, I'll let you go.